Continuing education is a booming business in Metro Toronto, with over 200,000 adults taking courses in their spare time each year. The Learning Annex helps to supply this demand, and joining us today is the director from Toronto's Learning Annex. We'll meet her in just a moment. Stay tuned for Careers. My name is Peter Wolfl, and welcome to Careers. Today's show is about the Learning Annex, a New York-based adult education company which has moved into Toronto and offers all kinds of quick courses, ranging from business seminars to sexy courses like How to Strip for Your Mate. Today's guest is Kim Cordner. She is the director for the Toronto company. Welcome, Kim, to the show.
Nice to meet you.
Maybe you can start, Kim, by telling us a little bit more about the Learning Annex. What kind of services does it provide? How does it operate?
Okay, well, we are based out of downtown Toronto, right at Yonge and Bloor, and that's where we have the brain of our operation, our office, and we have classrooms all over downtown Toronto. Most of our students tend to come on the subway, the TTC, or, service, and we try and keep them fairly centrally located, so we've got people basically coming from Mississauga right through to the other end of Scarborough, coming to take all the various courses that we do offer.
I see. And where do you usually offer these courses?
Generally in hotel conference rooms. We have our own Learning Annex classrooms in Toronto, in our Learning Annex office. Generally all over, fairly centrally located in Toronto though, so it's easily accessible for the majority of the population.
I see. What kind of courses are you holding, basically?
All kinds. We've got about 85 courses running currently, as you've seen from our magazine.
85.
Yep. And
yeah, I have one of your magazines right here, in fact. I'll hold it up for people to see.
Okay.
While you explain what this is all about.
Okay, we have courses ranging from computer seminars, basic, learning different software packages, right through to physical fitness, how to flatten your tummy, sort of sports courses, as well as more fun ones, how to strip for your lover, hot air ballooning, all sorts of things like that. So we've got a wide variety of courses available to Torontonians.
Is this your primary way of promoting the course? Yes,
it certainly is. We have approximately 450 street boxes where a magazine is accessible to the public, and they're all over Toronto, right from the subway lines to downtown. And that is basically how people learn about Learning Annex. We also have a mailing list, which is a free service that people can put their names on, and they're mailed their catalogs once per month for a year. So that's our advertising.
So this comes out every month?
Yeah, once per month, usually at the beginning.
How wide a circulation do you have? How many of those do you distribute every month?
About 550,000 per month. So it's
quite a big range.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Do you have competition?
In Toronto, yes, we do. We have the Network for Learning, which is a Toronto-based company that have been in business in Toronto for quite a few years, and it's a healthy competition, though. We, occasionally we will refer students to there if we don't have a particular course, and they do the same for us.
Oh, that's
so
good.
They're all Canadian owned and operated. We're owned and operated, as you said, out of New York, so it's a little bit different, but it's a healthy competition. We like it.
Now, your courses are very quick courses. They don't take up people's time to a great degree. Who tend to be your customers?
Generally people between 25 and 40, a lot of single people, a lot of professional people that have a little bit of spare time and are interested in learning something quickly. We have a lot of introductory type of courses that show people the pros and cons, or, the fun of a certain course, really.
You mentioned single people. I've heard that your courses are more than just education.
Yeah, they certainly are. We have a lot of people that come out to the courses basically to meet other people as well as learn something new, which is a big part of the Learning Annex. We have a lot of single people, and we try and cater to a large extent to them.
Have you taken any of these courses yourself?
Yes, I have. As a director, I try and keep on top of a lot of courses that we do have, and I've been to a lot of the business seminars, as well as the fun ones. I actually was hot air ballooning with our hot air ballooning class in August, and I took How to Strip for Your Lover. And
Oh, hold on. Tell us more about that one.
It's a fun course. It's for women only. No men can attend. It's basically we have a woman instructor who is a stripper, and it's an evening out for the women. It's fun. You learn different techniques of sort of walking sexy in high heels and bare feet, and there are all kinds of props at the course. It's a 3-hour course, but you will learn how to take things off slow or quickly and the pros and cons of doing such, and finding music and putting this whole routine together, and it's a lot of fun. It really is, yeah.
A lot of those courses, I guess, that would be kind of controversial.
In a sense, we call them good, clean fun, and they really are. People can participate, you know, as much as they want. Strip for Your Lover, no nudity is shown. People don't actually strip down to their all-togethers. It's everyone's clad in workout suits and whatnot.
Are any of these courses a fad? Are any of them short-lived, and therefore tend to be short-lived themselves?
Sort of. We pick up on a lot of trends that are around. For example, Dirty Dancing. We ran that. Now, the success of the movie was phenomenal, and we actually coordinated a course around that, learning basically the steps that were shown in the movie. We have salsa dancing right now, which is sort of a trend. You know, we try and pick up on certain things like that. You know, we've got sort of anti-couch potato courses right now for the yuppies. We tend to make the yuppies come out of their couches. You know, that's sort of one of our philosophies too. So it's, yeah, I would say we do.
Well, that really is your target, isn't it? The yuppies?
Yeah.
To a great degree?
Very much so.
Okay. As director for the Learning Annex, what do you do? What are your responsibilities?
Well, I'm director of Toronto office, so I coordinate a lot of the new courses that we've run. I'm in charge of finding teachers, class locations, overseeing our staff of 5 people in the office, following trends, picking up on them, organizing new courses, whether they come from, you know, my head or things I've read in the newspaper. Generally, curriculum development, public relations. Basically, I'm like a principal of a school. I just oversee everything.
Do any people come to you if they're bad, being the principal?
No, not really. We have a good screening process. If there are any problems, they tend to get to me or our office manager, who's really in charge of the whole office. So she keeps an eye on things.
So what would be a typical day for you, would you say, in your job?
Well, I do something different every day, so it's fun. Typical day, usually I come in, usually 8:30 or 9 in the morning, and go through, we have 3 newspapers, the Sun, the Star, and the Globe, and go through the lifestyles, the entertainment sections, try to find new people who might be exciting, answer all my phone calls. Usually twice per month we have a sheet of courses that we'd like to develop from New York, as well as ones that I will develop from Toronto. So it's going out, meeting with people, trying to hire teachers. You know, keeping the office going, I go out an awful lot and meet sort of people who I think might be fascinating for other people to see, you know, professionals in the field. You know, it really ranges from day to day. Sometimes when we have business courses, I'll go out, introduce people, do a lot of PR, and finding classroom space is a big challenge too in Toronto, because it's such a big city. We try and keep things as centrally located as we can. So I don't really have a typical day, but it's
Well,
always a
good.
challenge. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
That keeps the job exciting.
It sure does. It never gets boring at Learning Annex. It never does. So
Sounds like it's kind of a general management type of position.
yes, a lot of PR. You know, we're so visible in Toronto, so
Yeah.
it's.
Now, how did you get involved with them in the first place? You had quite a wide variety of jobs before you joined the Learning Annex, didn't you?
Yes, I certainly did. I actually went to school for graphic arts and interior design, and through that I had an awful lot of design experience, but no business experience. And I actually saw an ad in the paper for the Learning Annex for an office manager, and I applied and got the position. And really, I intended to learn more about business. And through that, you know, I really grew to like the Learning Annex. I liked the company and what they strive to do. And actually, in April of this year, I was promoted to director, so I took over the whole operation. So it was really on-the-job training and being promoted internally, which was fun. But yeah, I've done a little bit of everything to get to where I am now, which helps with Learning Annex because, you know, everything I've gained in terms of all the different positions I've had helps me find new courses and new teachers and all kinds of things like that. So it's been a challenge, but it's worth it.
Well, that sounds good. How did the learning, excuse me, how did the Learning Annex ever get started in the very first place?
It was originated out of New York City by Mr. Bill Zanker, who is in his early 30s and is
Pretty
brilliant.
young guy.
Yep, yep. He's worth a lot of money. There are actually 15 learning annexes now in the States and Toronto, which is nice. But he came up with the idea. He was a professional student, and really his money ran out, and his dad said, "Get a job. You're not going to school anymore." And he just had a few ideas for courses and started them out of a studio in Manhattan, and it just grew and grew and grew. And he just things he didn't know about, he'd hire teachers and run a course for. So, if he didn't know about income tax preparation, he hired someone and started a course on it, and gradually it grew from there. And then he decided not really to franchise. It's not really a franchise operation, but to, grow in different cities, because if it could run in New York, he figured it could run in a lot of other major cities in the States, and it certainly did. And then 2 years ago, we opened Learning Annex Toronto.
So are all of the companies then throughout Canada and the United States company owned?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so
Very
he doesn't
much.
believe in franchising per se.
It's something he'd like to get into in the future. Right now it's all, we are branch offices of the head company. But franchising is certainly a possibility in the future.
Hmm. I think I read an article that stated that when he originally started the company, he used to dress up in a clown outfit
And hand out flyers.
to try and promote the
Yeah,
company.
he did, and he also tried to throw 10,000 $1 bills off the Empire State Building as a promotional device, the Learning Annex. And he got caught doing it. He was actually put in jail for a day. It was just not allowed. He got arrested.
It's not allowed to give away money?
No, not in that way. It was a great publicity stunt, and because of that, even though he was, put in jail for half a day, the Learning Annex name was out there. It was covered in all the papers in New York, and that was one of the big factors contributing to his early success. Was all of a sudden the Learning Annex was out there everywhere, and people heard about it and thought, what a crazy thing to do, and it helped. So any publicity helps, whether it be good or bad. We generally like to have good publicity, but if our name's out there, people remember it. So it's nice.
Okay. Now the courses themselves tend to be quite a bit of fun as well as a learning experience, don't they?
Yeah, very much so. We tend to keep our courses very short in duration, usually 1 or 2 nights, usually 6 to 10 hours, and it gives people a chance to get out and see, if they'd like to do that. We've start your own business or your own import-export business, and it really won't qualify you to do that, but it will teach you the pros and cons and whether it's worthwhile for the the average student who's coming out to learn.
Maybe based upon that, they'll know whether they want to pursue it any further.
Exactly, and that's what we tend to really thrive on. Nobody is too old to learn. People are still learning. I mean, you can see from the success of the Learning Annex, people are always looking for something new, and we're filling that little void, which is nice.
Now, how would you decide to develop a new course?
Well, basically, as I said, through the newspapers. If I pick up sort of on a trend, we do have in our magazine a little section saying, we would like you as a teacher. If you have a course proposal or an idea, send it in. And I probably...
Are a lot of people doing that?
I probably get 9 or 10 resumes a week, or course proposals on, wide variety of stuff, from how to fix your motorcycle to Dare to Go Bear, which is a course that we've actually been running, to all kinds of neat things. And if it's a possibility, I'll certainly pursue it further. So that was another interesting one.
Dare to Go Bear?
Dare to Go Bear.
Is that for nudists? Or?
It's for nudists, yeah. It's a course. There's no nudity involved. Once again, it's good, clean fun. But it teaches people about nudism, how it's not, a bunch of dirty old men sort of on a beach. There are families that pursue this lifestyle. It's a whole lifestyle. It's not just walking around with no clothes on. And the professors or the people who teach it basically go through, what would be involved in nudism, different resorts in Canada and the States and all over, actually, where nudism is prevalent. And it's an information gathering seminar. They come home with a lot of pamphlets and information, and it's fun. They show a little videotape on the philosophy of nudism and how it's developed through the century. And it was just a proposal that was sent in to me, and I thought, this is sort of different. And it's worked out. We have 30 people every month taking Dare to Go Bear, so it's wonderful.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, we'll return with the Learning Annex.
It is the most prevalent disease in Canada. 3 million Canadians suffer from it. 30,000 of them are under 15. The majority are between 30 and 50 years old. By age 65, 90% of Canadians will have it. $50 million is spent annually on quack and unproven cures. Only $5 million is spent on hard scientific research. The disease is arthritis. Research will find a cure. Please, be generous.
Welcome back to Careers. My name is Peter Wolfl, and we're joined today by Kim Cordner, the director from the Learning Annex. Kim, are these courses also tax deductible?
Yes, they certainly are. All of our courses are tax deductible, and tax receipts are certainly available from the office upon a phone call from any of our students.
Okay, that probably makes it a bit more attractive.
It sure does, yeah. And we have some people who take, 5 or 6 or 8 courses in any particular year, so it certainly helps a little bit.
Oh, so do you tend to have a lot of repeat business? The same customers coming back to take more than one course?
Yes, if we tend to find that if they have a good experience the first course they take, they will come back over and over again. And once people register for our courses, they're put on our mailing list, and they receive our magazine once per month, so they're always seeing what we've got to offer, as soon as it comes out.
Okay. Have you had any famous people teaching your courses?
Yes, in terms of Canadian famous, yes. We also have American stars that come up and teach some of our courses. I guess the most famous...
Such as?
Yeah, the most famous people we've had would probably be Alfred Sung's marketing group, the Ram brothers, and they gave an entrepreneurial seminar for us last fall. Who else have we had? All kinds. We're having Famous Amos of Famous Amos's Cookies in New York coming up probably in November to give a seminar. We've had Judy Arg of Colors, the chain of color analysis and fashion. She gave a seminar on franchising for us last fall, which was really successful. We had probably about 150 people out to that. So it's big names tend to draw a big crowd. So it's fun. It's something we're trying to develop in terms of Canadian content as well, because we have a lot of famous people in Canada that people don't know about.
Do you tend to have more people interested in the serious topics or the sexy topics?
It's a real 50-50 split. We have a lot of people who are a lot of businesses will send some of their staff or whatnot to our business seminars or the computer courses. And then we have a real mix of people who are interested in fun, and a lot of singles who will come out to the more fun courses that we have to offer. So we have our meat market courses, we call it M-E-E-T, not M-E-A-T. We have, how to find a lover, how to flirt, begin and continue a conversation, and we have a lot of people signing up for those, so it's a really good group. They're going to learn something, but they're also going to meet other people, so it's a real...
Well, it certainly fills a niche. Those aren't the kind of courses you could take at university.
No. We tend to... we make learning fun and easier, so it's things that people are interested in, and they're short, so if you find you don't like begin and continue a conversation after 2 nights, then it's over. You don't have to go for sort of 12 or 15 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
So all of our courses are short, and they're fun.
Are there any kind of guarantees if when you get there you really don't like it, what the person's talking about?
Yeah, if it's really not geared toward yourself, we have a credit voucher policy whereby you can certainly get a credit voucher, which is good for 6 months. If it really isn't what you like, we find that probably happens 2 or 3% of the time. We have such a wide range of courses that people are coming out to see and to learn, and we don't have a lot of problem with people not liking them. If the courses aren't successful, we tend not to run them for too long. We'll pull them out and try something new.
Good.
Yeah.
You were speaking about singles before. In fact, I noticed in your catalog that you actually have a section in there for singles.
Yes, our Annex mates. It's a free service for people who read the Learning Annex, and they are allowed to put in up to a 65-word ad, personal ad, looking for the perfect male or female. And it's quite successful. We run 15 Annex mates per month, and they change on a monthly basis. And if you'd like to respond, it's a $2 handling and service charge, and we send them out. We mail them out every Friday. And we've actually had people get married through our Annex mates. We have one couple that met, believe it or not, through our Annex mates, and they got married last July, and it was so nice. They sent us a letter and thanked us for doing this. So it's providing a service that people definitely need, which is it's nice to see. It really is. So we enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did notice the little block in there that said that you are looking for instructors.
Always. New instructors and new ideas, really. If you have an idea for a course, by all means send in a resume or a proposal to the Learning Annex.
Okay.
And we consider everything. If it's possible, we'll develop it further.
Okay. By the way, do you have a phone number that people can call?
Yes, we do. Our phone number in Toronto is 964-0011. And we're open from 9 until 6:30 Monday through Friday, and 10 to 2 on Saturday.
Okay. Now, before you run a course, do you do a little bit of market research at all to see whether there is some demand for it?
A lot of times, yes, we do. New York, which is our head office, they will test market some courses and send them up to Toronto, and we will try them. And if they tend to go fairly well, then they will be marketed all over the learning annexes in the States. So we do have marketability that way. And on the other hand, we will cross-reference a lot of courses.
So, sorry, that means that they would be coming up with some kind of an idea that they think would be saleable right across the United States.
Yeah.
So in every city, they would then have to find some instructors that are able to teach that.
They will. Often we will get a hot list of things, trends that are hot, ideas that New York thinks will run, and they'll send them up to Toronto. For example, the How to Become a Ventriloquist was a course that was running wonderfully in New York, and they sent it up to Toronto and said, you know, find an instructor, we're going to run this one-night seminar. And then it was up to myself to go out and find a ventriloquist who was willing, you know, who had enough experience and could really teach that in a one-evening seminar. So in a sense, they will send up a lot of ideas for courses, which is wonderful, and we also find a lot of ideas ourselves in Toronto, and we'll develop them, and if they're wonderful in Toronto, then
You
it's
might
the same
submit
thing.
them to them.
Yep, it'll go all over the States.
And how do you go about then finding an instructor to fill one of those courses?
You name it. It's a lot of phoning, a lot of visiting people, a lot of research at the library.
Look in the yellow pages? Or?
Look in the yellow pages sometimes. All over. You know, contacts that I've made through different research and whatnot. Some of our teachers will be able to recommend people, which are great. And if not, then it's just, you know, going out and finding someone. That's why, you know, we're really on top of the trends. We read all the newspapers, all the magazines, and if we find, you know, a person, we tend to pursue it or keep them on file. Yeah.
Now, what do you look for when you sign up an instructor?
Personality, someone who can really get up in front of an audience and, you know, project what they have to offer. Most of our instructors aren't professional teachers. They're people such as yourself who have an idea that can, you know, make a course out of it. And I sit down with them and we go over, you know, what should be taught, what they think they can do, what I think the course should be, and between the two of us we tend to come to an agreement, and whether they're teaching 10 people or 60, it's fun. It's a learning experience for a lot of our instructors as well as myself, so it's
Are a lot
fun.
of instructors then sort of doing it as a second job, something, they're moonlighting in effect
Yes,
on the
in
side?
a sense, yeah, they certainly are. A lot of people have, you know, 9 to 5 jobs during the day and really like people or really like to get out, and they do
But they
that.
have experience in that particular field.
They're experts in their field. That's the primary target we're looking for. They don't have to be great at public speaking. If they're not, you know, we can help them.
Now, if somebody, let's say, wants to teach a computer course,
Okay.
do they have to also tell you where they want to hold that course
Yes.
and have all the computers sitting there and everything?
Yeah, that's the only tricky one. With the technical courses, the synthesizer course we were looking at earlier, or computers, they really have to have the location, the staff, you know, the computers. With a lot of our one-evening seminars, how to open a daycare center or how to strip for your lover, that they're just there
Doesn't
to
take
teach.
anything.
I'll provide, you know, the rest. Well, it does take, it takes knowledge, it takes the know-how, but I will find a classroom for them, and, you know, we do all the marketing and whatnot, so they're basically there just to teach, to entertain.
Okay, and then how would the instructors get paid? Is that a commission of all the money that they bring in? Or?
Certainly. It works on either percentage basis or a flat fee. There's no standard rule. It depends entirely on the course. You know, I might have 85 different teachers and I'll have 85 different contracts on them. So it really depends if we're using, you know, a Learning Annex location or their location or what's involved, if they're giving out books or, you know.
Do you have some standard Learning Annex locations?
Generally, we use quite a few hotels in the downtown area, and we use a lot of their seminar rooms. So if you were to take 6 or 8 Learning Annex courses, you might come back to the same location 2 or 3 times. You know, we try and keep them very central to the downtown area, generally on the subway line, so they tend to turn up more than others. And if the hotels we rent space from a lot of different sources, and if the space tends to be nice, we'll use it as much as we can.
Okay. Oh, on the back of the catalog here, it says Halloween Murder Mystery
That's
Party.
right.
What's that all about? Is that an actual course?
It's a one-evening seminar. It's a dinner. It's a champagne wine and cheese party, and it's on Halloween. And we're asking not that everyone dresses up, but they wear a mask. And we will have actors dressed up with masks on, and sometime throughout the evening, a murder will occur, and we will follow clues and try and solve the murder. So all of the you know, the people, I can't really call them
Great
students.
idea.
Yeah, we're going to have about 75 people. It's being held at the old mill out in Etobicoke. And they will be assigned groups. And throughout the evening after the murder occurs, they will be looking for clues and having, you know, a really good time and having champagne and hors d'oeuvres and trying to solve the big murder. So we don't know what the murder is going to be, but it's going to happen some point during the night.
You've also gotten involved in selling all kinds of other little products such as videotapes and cassette tapes.
We certainly have.
I guess you're diversifying yourselves a bit.
A little bit. For people that might not want to take our courses or aren't accessible to them, our magazine is all over Ontario now. And it's just a phone call away. They can certainly receive some of the different cassettes. And once again, we've got a wide range of those, ranging from, you know, technical things, listening skills, languages, right through to phonetics and thin thighs and flatten your tummy and all sorts of different cassettes that are available. So it's fun. There's quite a variety of them.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And that also helps for those people who really don't have hardly any time. They can listen to it in the car
That's
or whatever.
true. Yeah, it certainly is.
What are the Learning Annex's plans for the future?
Well, we're hoping to go across Canada. We're looking at Vancouver, possibly Montreal. You know, we're just trying to get a larger market, and we're always growing. We've been in business in Toronto just over 2 years.
Is Toronto
And-
the only city in Canada right now where you have a Learning Annex?
Yep, it is. We're sort
You're
of
the guinea pigs.
We are a guinea pig. Let me tell you, New York Toronto is, or Canada is different, and they just don't understand Canadians in the same sense that Americans are.
We are different.
We are, and that's something that I'm trying to project to New York, but they are looking across Canada, which is going to be nice, and eventually the Learning Annex as a whole will be moving over to Europe. They're looking at Amsterdam and London, England right now for early 1991. So that's a possibility too.
That sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kim. That's all the time we have for today.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us on Careers. We'd like to use your ideas and your suggestions. If you have any, please let me know by writing to me, Peter Wolfl, host Careers, Graham Cable 10, 35 Scarlett Road, Toronto, Ontario, M6N 4J8. I'm Peter Wolfl, and from all of us here at the studio, good luck in your own career.